Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Enjoy Life. I'm your host, Casey Crutchfield, and today is a special episode. It is officially episode 52, a full year of Enjoy Life. And if you're just getting started with this episode, or if you're a day one, I owe you a thank you. And today I decided to do a solo episode because I just wanted to get my thank yous out, kind of reflect on this past year and kind of just see what's to come. But this couldn't have been done without you guys. So the first thing I want to say is thank you to all of you watching. And I'm probably going to say thank you 1,000 times this episode, but that's all right because there's plenty of thank yous to go around. But let's get right into it. So just starting off, I just kind of wanted to talk about why I started this in the first place. Let's take it back a whole year, and it was summer. I just graduated, and I was waiting to start grad school in the fall, and this idea had been in my head, for those who know, since the beginning of senior year of college and undergrad, and I finally decided to take that step and get the equipment. And podcasting, I always thought it was something cool, and I felt like it was something that I was capable of doing. Maybe in the beginning I thought it was a lot easier, but definitely learned a lot of things, and I'm glad I stuck through and actually decided to take that step and do it because it's really taught me a lot of things, and we're kind of going to talk about that today. But really the reason I started it was just because I wanted to give people an opportunity to listen to something that might resonate with them and to sit down with people and hear about why they enjoy life. Really, some of my goals in the beginning was honestly just to get episodes out. I was nervous that I would kind of run out of fuel, or just not trying to set high expectations. I kind of had a feeling about how hard it would be as far as views. So I tried to tell myself in the beginning, like, look, don't get beat up. Like, you're here to go to grad school, and this is just a little hobby, and whatever happens with it happens. And I think in between this past year, I kind of forgot my why in the beginning, and I'm kind of going to touch on that later as well. And then so we finally got into it, and my first episode, I had my best friend, my brother, my roommate, Quinn on the pod, and I actually filmed the first 4 episodes like within a week. That way I had a month. And also got to touch with some other people like my guy Brennan, and I feel like that was a great episode too because that was really the first episode that I kind of opened up about myself and really talking about like my illness, and Brennan got to talk about what was going on with him, and that really meant a lot because that was really kind of setting the tone, because some people in that situation might be a little bit nervous to talk about something like that, and I just felt like I wanted to be open like that. That way maybe it could touch with someone else, or it could resonate with someone else. And I'm really glad, like, I feel like that was kind of the episode that I kind of kicked the door almost. That's the analogy I would use. But I was definitely nervous that first episode. For those who don't know, we actually filmed the first episode, me and Quinn, like 2 weeks before, and it was terrible. We filmed it on our couch. It was terrible. It will never see the light of day, so never dropping it. But I was just really nervous, and I'm glad I sent that episode to some of my friends because they were honest with me, and like it made me realize, like, look, I need to do this again, like when you're running back. And I'm so appreciative for those friends, because if they would have just told me, yeah, it's good, like, I needed that constructive criticism, and I appreciate them for giving me that. And that's what helped me got better as a podcaster. So moving on to what I've learned this year, I've definitely learned a lot, and I feel like I've definitely grown a lot as a person. One of the first things is that this isn't easy and balance is needed. Um, Life can get so hectic. There's your personal things like with family and friends, school or work, whatever you have. So for me, it'd be grad school and working at school, and then doing this and saying it, doing all of this and balancing it is one thing, but actually having to go do it, it's tough. Especially when school gets loaded up or something. It's got to stay scheduled. Like there has to be certain days dedicated to the podcast, certain hours in the day dedicated to the podcast, or stuff is just going to crumble. And I think I kind of learned that. Another thing I learned is dealing with a no. I remember like the first month, I was hitting people up about coming on. And I'll tell this story now that it's been a year. And I hit up some guy from the Saints organization. I don't know if he worked in like sales or something, but I just thought it'd be cool to get someone related to the organization on the podcast. And he was like, "Oh, well, call me at this time." So I called him, didn't answer. So I like sent him a text like, "Hey, I was just calling you. I'll call you at a later time." So the next day I called him at the same time and he didn't answer. So I sent him an email and I was like, "Hey, like, I don't know if you forgot." And he was like, "Oh, call me tomorrow at this time." So the next day I call him and this dude just goes off on me on the phone. Like, if I'm not answering my fucking phone, like what do you want? Like just going off. And I was like, damn, like kind of crazy. And that actually kind of hurt me for a couple of days. Like I was like, gosh, like I guess that was the first like hard, like maybe not even a no, but just like, dude, get away. And I didn't really know how to react to it at first. But after that, I just kind of took it as fuel. And those next couple of episodes, I felt like I did really good. I had a guy from Barstool on, shout out Brian. And then I had two LSU football players not long after that. So I feel like one little no, I think my lesson from that is one little no doesn't mean it's the end of the world. One no could lead to two or three major yeses. And I just had to learn the patience for that. Another thing I learned is just that a lot of people go through a lot of things. Being able to sit here and listen to people's testaments and their stories growing up, some that just kind of bounce off the top of my head. My brother Miles and what he went through, that's nothing easy. And for him to be able to come share a story was a pretty cool experience. Also, another episode that I just enjoyed that stuck out to me as kind of a low-key episode is my guy Darius. Shout out if he's watching. And just getting to hear his experience about living here and how he's kind of turned his life into doing this insurance and all of that. I really enjoyed that one. That one really meant a lot. And shout out to Darius because I'll never forget one time, especially when I was really busy with school and stuff. He texted me this quote and sent me something, and it really did touch me a lot. I really appreciated that. And I think it's cool how kind of in those moments when you're down or something, the littlest thing will pick you up. Like, that's just something that I remember, and it's just a little thing, but it really did boost me up. So I'm very appreciative for those moments. Now, as far as favorite moments this past year are concerned, I felt like I had to talk about some of them. The first one that just sticks out in particular is the episode I got to do with Jalen Coker. I've said thank you to this dude like probably 5 episodes, but shout out my guy, Brennan Chasson, for hooking me up on that. Um, I'm just forever grateful for that opportunity and to sit down with Michael too. He hooked me up with both of those, and that's just a great brother of mine. But that was really fun. Like, I remember that was probably one of the episodes I was most nervous for. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. just to like make sure everything was set up, sent him the link. I think we ended up doing it at like 6 in the morning, and I didn't sleep the whole night before. I was so nervous, and it was crazy because he's literally younger than me, but I was just so tensed up because, like, I mean, this dude's playing on Sunday. Like, it was just an eye-opening experience. And to say I did that in, like, the first 20 episodes is so cool. Um, that was something that was on my list from the beginning, just to have someone who played in the NFL. I'm big into sports. I love football, basketball, all of that. So just to have someone like that on the podcast so early on was super cool. Another episode that was pretty fun that stuck out to me was having Brody on. Shout out Brody for coming spend some of his time on here. Also, oh gosh, I was just thinking of an episode. I also enjoyed the episode a lot with Devin. I think it's always fun when I have my friends on because we've been knowing each other for so long, and those conversations are just more genuine. I feel like because I just know them so well, and it's just fun to do. So I enjoy all of my friends that I've had on, whether it's Devin, Quinn, Jay White, all of y'all. I know I'm probably missing some names, but also shout out Brennan. I'm pretty sure he's been on here the most 3 times. So give yourself a little pat on the back, Brennan. So moving on, an episode. I'm trying to think of like episodes that also kind of maybe surprised me or caught me off guard. I'd say one was Father JD. I'd known Father JD for like 5 or 6 years before, but still, just having him on, that was a great one, and uh, it came out better than I expected. Not that I had low expectations for it, because I know he can talk, but it was really one that I enjoyed. Like after he left, I was like, that was great. Um, Another one that I had fun with was shout out my guy EJ. That was probably one of the episodes that I've laughed the most on. Like I that was another episode where I was just like, this is just awesome. And EJ's been a friend since elementary school, so like I said, that goes back to having your friends on the pod. I really enjoyed that. One where I really got to learn a lot, I feel like, was when I'm blanking right now. An episode I felt like where I learned a lot was with Blake and learning about physical therapy and all that he does. I thought that was a really cool episode as well. Also having Shane on, shout out all the Valos, but Shane was interesting because I got to hear about the restaurant business and I really never heard about that. And just like Tyler, I never heard about real estate either. So they all brought something good. Valo brothers, they're all great people. So up next, what we're going to talk about for this episode of Enjoy Life, I want to go to listener appreciation. And this goes out, I'm going to miss so many people, but I just want to list my thank yous. First off, I want to say thank you to the man upstairs just for giving me this idea and giving me the heart to actually keep on going, because I feel like not everyone would make it to a year, and maybe some people didn't think I'd make it to a year, but just thank you for giving me the opportunity. Next, I want to thank my family, which includes mom, dad, brother, everyone, uh, just for believing in me, for buying my stuff, and just telling me to never give up and just being my biggest fans. Next, I want to thank all my roommates for putting up with me when I have to film or telling them to walk in outside or, just being there for me. They're also my biggest supporters, always liking my videos and reposting. I appreciate that. Shout out all my friends in general. Um, I'm blanking, but just their support means a lot. It means the most because they're the most honest with me, and friends are friends and they're always going to be there for you. So just thank you. It really means a lot. And to the people who come and tell me something in person, that really means a lot as well. I remember one person came up to me and talked about a specific episode. I forgot which one it was. And they talked about how they really learned something from that. And when I got back in my car to drive home, that really meant a lot. And it made me realize I was doing something right. So thank you to that person and to all the people who tell me something in person. Thank you, everyone, for the heartfelt messages. I appreciate that. But overall, I just want to say thank you to all the supporters. I'm going to wrap up my thank you quick because I'm going to get a little emotional, but it's all right. And next, I kind of want to go and talk about the behind the scenes things because you guys only see one part of it. Uh, Beforehand, I didn't realize how hard it would be. Editing and stuff takes a lot of time, and sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. That's what I talk about, like those times where you have to designate time for it because it's definitely not easy it's not something you can do in like 30 minutes. You know, it takes time because you want to do it to the best of your ability. So that's definitely one thing behind the scenes that I struggle with. Another thing is just wanting to upgrade equipment. Like I'd love to get a new camera, just a new setup in general to where like if I had a guest on, you could see it from different angles, but that also does cost a lot of money. But we're making it work. And I think something that I kind of learned that I really needed to reflect on was that I didn't start this to get 1 million followers. I started this to just be an outlet and to say stuff and share testaments and stuff to where it resonates with people, and whatever happens, happens. And I'm glad I kind of came back to my senses and realized that. And another thing that was really hard was that I wanted to bring up was 3 months ago. It just really got tough with the episodes with school. I had an extra burden put on me, and it didn't have me in a space where I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit, but it definitely made it hard. And I did a lot of solo episodes then just because I didn't have the time to. And that's another thing that goes back to designating proper time, something that I need to get better at. But I think that just showed me, you know, if I can go through that tough time and still be able to put out episodes, like I should be good. And that's really something that taught me that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was why I enjoy life now versus why a year ago, or how's it changed a little bit. I'd say one thing for sure is just the opportunity. Life is just full of so many opportunities, and I've been blessed with so many opportunities to do podcasts with people, and I think I'm just really grateful for it, and it's a blessing to be able to do this. And I don't think I've really realized that, or I really didn't know at the time, but now I'm just blessed because not everyone may be able to do this, and it's something that I really try not to take for granted. And I just think the name in general still means something throughout this year because we should always try and enjoy life and be the best version of ourselves. And I think that is just something that sticks, not just now, but forever. And once again, I'm truly blessed for that. So now looking ahead, since we've talked about this whole year, we got two great guests coming up. I don't want to say their names yet, but y'all be seeing that. I also want to make some more hats and some bracelets. I think that'd be cool just to give out. Another thing I want to do in this next year is just grow. My goal was 1,000 subs for the year, and we didn't hit that, obviously. Didn't even make it halfway through. And, you know, that's okay. Goals aren't always met. But this year, we're just going to try and do our best. And whatever happens, happens. And I'm okay with that. But we're going to wrap this episode up. Guys, it's been a full year of Enjoy Life. I'm so blessed for each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much for even making this a thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all I can say. I'm truly blessed. I love each and every one of y'all. Have a great day, great night, whatever y'all are watching. We're out.